Among those listed in the ICC document as a co-perpetrator in the Duterte drug war is former Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre II. Tonight, we ask him why he thinks his name has been included and what his plans are if his arrest is ordered by the court. Welcome to the big story, attorney.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Cez, Pauline, and Mission. Thank you for having me, and good night to all your followers and viewers.
All right, did this come as a surprise to you that a list of co-perpetrators has come out of the ICC without any, warrant of arrest or any charges, rather?
Actually, this really surprised me because I heard of my name, although there's no first name, last year, sometime in September. So, kasama raw ako dun sa mga dinimanda sa ICC. Hindi ko siniseryoso yun. I'm not taking it seriously kasi wala akong nalalaman kahit katiting na participation sa war on drugs or this extrajudicial killing or support thereof. Kaya ako'y talagang nagtataka and I really wonder why they included me or linked me with respect to this war on drugs. And they cited two instances na pwedeng pinanggalingan nung kaso raw yung violations ko. One in 2010 when I was lawyering for then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte with respect to the charges filed against him by then Chair of Human Rights Laila de Lima. And the second one, when I was appointed as Secretary of Justice in 2016. I only stayed at the DOJ for less than 2 years, from June 30, 2016 to April 5, 2018. So, wala akong kinalaman dyan. I don't know anything about this, why I was included as one of the co-perpetrators. But thinking about it, I believe that the reason why it was included was because they wanted to use this in the trial against President Duterte. Alam mo, sinabi nila doon doon sa kanilang filing sa ICC that Duterte is the head of a common plan na nagpe-perpetuate ng extrajudicial killing and even killing civilians against in their pursuit of this war on drugs. So, yun lang ang nakikita ko. Kasi kung ang...
if I may interrupt you, attorney.
Yes.
Ano naman ang argument niyo na hindi totoo yun? Because he had announced it himself very many times as president, and then it was happening before our very eyes. People would turn up in the streets, dead, with bags covering their head. It was, it could not have happened if there was not a systematic operation.
Alam mo, yung sinasabi niyong ano naman ang ebidensya ko na hindi totoo yun. Na sinasabi kong hindi totoo because I heard it for the first time. May yung sinasabi nilang common plan. This is the first time I heard of it. And kung may common plan niyan at ako'y kasama, dapat alam ko. Wala akong kalam-alam dyan. Una-una, doon sa sinasabi nilang I lawyered for Duterte. Kailan pa naging krimen ang maging abogado ng isang akusado? At that time, Mayor Duterte of Davao was not yet president and we are, I think, not yet a member of the ICC. 2010 on, may demanda si Chair Laila de Lima of the Human Rights Commission against him. Kaya kinuha niya akong abogado doon. But I think it lasted only for 1 day. I went back to Manila and never returned to Davao in my trip in 2010. Kaya walang, ang ibig bang sabihin niyan, itong pagiging in the Philippines is not even an offense. As a matter of fact, I'm just exercising my profession. Ang ibig bang sabihin niyan, yung completely legal sa Pilipinas will become illegal dyan sa Hague.
Nakakapagtaka po ba, attorney, na nagbabaters pero wala namang kaso? Parang meron lang ipinalabas lamang itong mga listahan ng mga pangalan.
Yan doon sa doon sa trial ni President Duterte sa Hague. In order that their common plan, yung allegation lang common plan will become credible, they need to include the Department of Justice and the Secretary of Justice dyan sa kanilang common plan na yan. So I think that's the only reason why my name was dragged into this. Para maging credible yung kanilang common plan na yan. But tulad ng sinabi ni Attorney Kaufman, I will prove that it's false. Walang common plan yan. Gawa-gawa lamang nila yan.
During your tenure po as Justice Secretary, yung mga kasong hinaharap sa inyo ay umusad po ba?
Oh, of course, umusad. Yung lahat ng as a matter of fact, siguro hindi nyo alam, yung 3 high-profile cases, yung 3 teenager na pinatay, yung Kian de los Santos, Carlos Arnaiz, saka si Kulot de Guzman, ako ang nagpatawag dyan sa mga magulang niyan at sa mga kamag-anak niyan. Dinala ko yan sa Malacanang. And then, when doon pa sila sa bahay pangarap ng Malacanang, minute sila ni President Duterte. At doon nila nag-complain. Doon nila sinabi kay President sa harap-harapan, sinabi nila kay President Duterte kung ano nangyari, kung bakit sila dapat tulungan. And after that meeting, what happened? Demanda yung mga pulis, trials were held, and they were all convicted. And I think I read in the papers about 3 months ago that the Supreme Court dismissed their appeal and affirmed their convictions. So ako mismo ang nagdala niyan. So how could I be accused of being in cahoots with this if ever there was any extrajudicial killing?
Opo, pero ilan lang po yan.
One thing more. Noong idemanda si Kerwin Espinosa, mayor ngayon ng Alvera Leyte. His case was dismissed by my department when I was the Secretary of Justice.
Naku, nawawala po yung audio ninyo, attorney. Attorney,
Baka po na-mute, attorney?
you might have,
There you go.
ayan, in stressing your point na ano nyo yata.
Napindot.
Go ahead, sir.
Yung father niya, yung father niya, hindi ba pinatayan while being incarcerated dun sa Aguirre? One of them accused there was the head of the CIDG, one Colonel Marcos. I think pinadi-dismiss na nila yung kaso. I ordered the National Bureau of Investigation. Sabi ko parang hindi ako niniwala na dapat i-dismiss yan. It must be investigated. So I ordered the NBI, and it was investigated, and the case was filed against these people. I just don't know what happened.
Well, true, but they are a handful of cases. We're talking thousands of cases here po.
You could not blame the Department of Justice about this thousands of cases, kung ilan man yan. As a matter of fact, invento lang yan, 30,000 na yan. Kailan kayo nag-30,000? Kailan nasan yung listahan na yan? Pinalalaki lang ninyo yan eh.
Let's work, Secretary, on yung actual numbers na meron yung PNP, which is nasa about 6,000 cases.
So, ayan, perhaps it's
Yes.
credible.
Okay, let's
yan,
work.
Perhaps siguro ganyan lang. Pero yung 30,000, siguro times 5 yan, times 5 lang nila yan.
Okay, so dun sa 6,000 cases, nung time nyo po as Justice Secretary, ano po, looking back, ano po yung mga hardships, yung mga obstacles that you experienced yourself while investigating these cases? If indeed nga na parang umeffort po yung DOJ nung time na yon na imbestigahan itong mga kaso na ito. Notwithstanding the Kian case because that was really, really high profile.
And there was intense public pressure then.
Hello?
Go ahead
Go ahead,
po.
sir.
Yeah. Ang akin lamang is that it is no longer the duty or the job of the Department of Justice to investigate these killings. They are the duties of the law enforcement. Kami, nagre-receive lang ng complaint. Kung ano lang i-file sa amin, yun ang complaint na binibigay sa amin na dinidinig namin. But you could not fault us for whatever is happening outside of the department.
Is it not also true though, Secretary, that you can actually move things along, kumbaga, or kind of provide the inertia being Secretary of Justice, na imbestigahan nga nitong mga law enforcement agencies ang mga kaso na ito?
Talaga namang iniimbestigahan yan, but we at the department are just waiting for complaints to be filed. If the complaints to be filed with us are with substance, then we file the necessary case. If they are not filed or the killings or the cases were filed are very weak, then it will be dismissed. Kaya sinasabi ninyo ng human rights advocates dyan, sinasabi, paanoan niya mangyayari dyan? Sinasabi, they were just defending themselves. So, anong nangyari? So, ang sa amin lang, we receive the complaint and we decide on the basis of this complaint. Are they strong? Are they weak?
Do you
But
remember?
with respect to the cases to be filed, hindi na namin sakop yun eh. It is dyan yung sa mga law enforcement agencies.
And would you remember po around how many cases po yung umabot po sa desk niyo as a Justice Secretary? Kahit po rough estimate lang. So we're talking, let's say, 6,000 cases. Umabot ba sa 1,000, 2,000?
I don't know really actually because during my time ang jurisdiction lang ng Secretary of Justice to review pag may appeal na sa akin. Pero yung before the appeal, it is being handled by the Prosecutor General or by the city and provincial prosecutors throughout the country.
So do you remember reviewing a number of cases, a big number or a small number?
Merong siguro hindi na nakarating sa akin yun because we are only review. Hindi naman lahat pumupunta sa review eh.
Okay.
Well, you did mention, Attorney, also no, to our sister program that some of the cases, most of the cases didn't even reach your office. And you also argue that the reason why your name is being included in the co-perpetrators list is because the prosecutor needs to prove the credibility of this common plan, this so-called common plan. Ano? But at the same time, Attorney, hindi po ba na someone's role in aiding impunity, this culture of impunity, is also something that lends credence to this common plan? In other words, parang the Justice Department turned a blind eye to all these killings happening during the war on drugs.
I deny that. You prove it. I deny that. We never engage in that kind of activities. Hindi namin ginawa yan.
By the same token, Attorney, are you preparing for an eventual case that the ICC may have against you?
Yes, actually, tulad ng sabi ko kanina, hindi ko na sinuseryoso nung una yan. Kasi I know nothing about this thing. Wala akong ginawa na would violate the rights of someone, especially much less killing someone or supporting the killing of somebody. Kaya ngayon, siguro siniseryoso ko na. Kasi it appears na some people or some local organization, even foreign organizations, are calling for the issuance of warrants against us. So yan, I'm now preparing. I hope to file the appropriate case before the Supreme Court so that I could protect my rights as a Filipino.
What exactly is the case that you are filing before the Supreme Court?
Well, about 4 or 5 months ago, nagpas ang Supreme Court ng yan ang pinaka-latest rules of court nila on extradition. Ang nakalagay dun sa rules na yun, sa extradition, is that before any country could ask or request for the extradition of a Filipino na sinasabi ng criminal o nag-commit ng crime doon sa bansa nila, for example sa Amerika, mayroong judicial process na ginagawa ngayon dito. Nakalagay doon na kung sakasakaling ang Department of Justice will file a request for extradition through the request of a foreign country, then they will have to file that request with a local domestic court. Kaya yan ang concern ko lang is that baka yan ay kulang. Kasi nakalagay doon, it is entitled for extradition. Hindi kasama dyan yung processes that would have to be made with respect to foreign tribunals. Kasi pag extradition, mga bansa lang yan, countries. Pero itong mga foreign tribunals katulad ng ICC, ICJ, wala dyan, hindi kasama doon eh. So, posible, pwedeng maging defense nila, hindi naman yan kasama kayo dyan eh. Kasi para sa extradition lang. Kaya we hope and pray that the Supreme Court would come up with new rules specifically addressing the need for Filipinos to protect their constitutional rights. Katulad nung ginawa dito sa mga extradite na ito.
So, Senator Bato de la Rosa has already filed a similar case?
That's right, that's right.
Pero
And
wala pong
unfortunately, the case did not move because Senator de la Rosa, despite the announcement made by the Ombudsman that he has a copy of the warrant of arrest, the party of Senator de la Rosa could not produce a copy of that warrant of arrest despite the fact na sinabi ng Ombudsman. And their motion to compel the Ombudsman to show them or submit to the Supreme Court copy of the warrant was not favorably acted upon by the Supreme Court. So kung mayroong specific na rule governing foreign tribunals like the ICC, paano ba ang gagawin? Dapat hindi na mangyari yung ginawa kay President Duterte, who was whisked to the Hague without even following the rules under the ICC rules or the Rome Statute. Dapat doon, dinaan din si President Duterte sa ating judicial process. Kaya ako nagpapasalamat at natutuwa ako dun sa suggestion ni Blue Ribbon Chair Ping Lacson na dapat mayroong domestic court ito na dadaan muna sa domestic court bago dalhin sa ICC. Very clear yan. Tama-tama lang. I think I will support that.
So, being named a co-perpetrator, do you think this will trigger a response from the Supreme Court? Because,
I don't know. I don't know, but I hope. Kasi hindi mo naman mautusan ng Supreme Court. That's why I think one of the palaging sinasabi ko during this my interview yesterday and today ay sana magkaroon ng mag-promulgate ang Supreme Court ng another rule specifically covering this warrants of arrest or summons from international tribunal katulad ng ICC.
Well, Attorney, right now there are no charges against you before the ICC, but if you were given the opportunity to testify or serve as a witness, would you be willing to cooperate?
Yes. Why not?
Attorney, kailan niyo po huling nakausap si dating Pangulong Duterte, yung inyong brad? Aren't you fraternity brothers?
That's right. Correct. That's why kinuha niya akong lawyer noong 2010. Kausap ko siya siguro a few months before he was brought to the ICC in The Hague. But he was then very weak. As a matter of fact, he delivered his speech while on a wheelchair, and I did not have the opportunity to talk to him. I just saw him. At tagal na kami nagkakausap niyan.
Okay, very quickly na lang, Secretary, ano po yung backup plan nyo sakali pong walang lumabas sa Supreme Court? Magpa-file din po ba kayo ng very specific question on ano nga ba magyayari kapag international tribunal ang humingi, or do you have another plan B?
I really did not get the question. Could you please repeat?
Do you have a plan B in case po lumabas nga, kunwari, biglang magkaroon ng warrant because everything is kept secret until po lumabas yun? Are you also planning to file with the Supreme Court a very specific request, no, for an action plan? Kapag nga international tribunal po yung nag-issue ng arrest warrant at mag-extradite sa inyo.
Specifically, let's have as an example this ICC who might be issuing a warrant against us, or against me. Ang unang gagawin ko is that I will not wait for that. I hope to make or to draft a petition before the Supreme Court, which if I feel that it would be already a justiciable controversy, kasi hindi lahat ng kaso dinidinig ng Supreme Court o or other courts for this matter, dapat merong justiciable controversy. So dito, dapat maprubahan ko na merong danger na yung constitutional right ko may be violated. For example, to be imprisoned in a foreign country without due process. So I'm going to file an action before the Supreme Court, a petition before the Supreme Court for certiorari.
We thank you for talking to us on the eve of Chinese New Year, kaya lahat tayo ay nakapula. Former, tama po ba? Kaya
Tama,
nakapula din
oo.
kayo. Former, go ahead, sir.
Tama. I hope na kumain lang tayo ng tikoy.
Sige po. Former Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre II.